pathways of heaven and earth are open to me.
Claim that power.
All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me. All of the pathways of heaven and earth are open to me.
Peace and freedom, Charmaine. Good evening. How are you this evening? I am Reverend Queen Mother Imakhu, and it's my pleasure to be with you here again on this evening as we are making our way through our 42-day cleansing cycle. So, I told you I was going to try to come to you every day. Try, okay? And don't hold it against me if I'm not able to do that. I'm doing the best that I can. But I'm going to tell you something. Yesterday in Newark, there's just a lot going on right now. A lot. In Newark, in our state, just a lot. And as an activist, I do my best to get involved and do what I need to do to try to remedy some situations, especially if you're talking about local issues. Because, I know that it's important to be able to express yourself. It is necessary to do that so that you can have an understanding of exactly how to affect change in the absolute best way. But there are a lot of folks who just talk. And I don't believe that. I don't believe in that. I believe the best thing that we have to do is to figure out what we can do in order to affect change in our world. The truly awakened Kemite who has come into the place of the energy of Herukuti, the doubly awakened Heru, knows that what you do is based on Eri, which is action, and it is action with good intention. So, yeah, I can't really address everything today, but I can say also that I did spend today doing a lot to figure out what the next step is in terms of being able to help our community. And so for that, I feel very good. Then this afternoon, I had my cousin's annual Juneteenth cookout and commemoration at her house. And it's always good to get together with family. It's always good to spend time, and especially with seeing the little ones and how they are growing, and they're so interesting, and they're these little fully formed people, right? And so and being the elder cousin at these events, I find it to be a very satisfying experience indeed. And so anyway, at the end of this long day, I got invited to go to the beach tomorrow, and I got invited early this afternoon. No, actually, it was still the morning when I got invited. And so, good evening, Brandon. How are you? So, this morning I was excited. I still had energy, right? And I was like, the beach. Okay, I could tape early and post early. We weren't planning to stay all day, but yeah, I was really excited about it. Now, I feel, I don't think I'm going to the beach. Not tomorrow. But if I do, I will certainly do ritual, and I will go live so that we are able to share some time together at the beach and at the water, and be able to bring in the sacredness of the day. Okay? Because anytime you go to the water, as far as I'm concerned, as a water priestess, it is it's special. Okay, so Wadjet. We're going to talk about Wadjet, and we're not going to be all night, I promise you. So, Wadjet is known as another one of the serpent um, guardians. She is also depicted as a lioness. Let me bring that in. And some of you may have seen her in museums and thought mistakenly, like I did at one point, that she was Sekhmet. So there are two things that are interesting, because the one image has um, the lioness looking like the familiar image of Sekhmet, with the uraeus and the disc of Re, but the other has baby Heru seated on her lap. You know, I've shared several times over that um, Heru was not just the child of Aset and Asar. There are many incarnations of Heru that go back to pre-dynastic Kemet. And this is another one of those examples. Now, why would it be that she would be depicted as both a lioness and then also as a serpent? Well, both are extremely powerful. Both are protectors. Both are um, comforters as well. Yes. And both have energies that are very um, feminine, powerful, but also feminine, sensual. You know, when you watch the way that a feline moves, it's poetry in motion. You see the way that a serpent moves its body. It's hypnotic. Okay. So um, she's a protector of the brow. She is high psychic energy as well. When you invoke her, then she will come to you bringing clarity, kerep, which is clarity. And she will come to you showing you things that you really need to know in your life at that moment. It's really quite mind-blowing. So she is significant at this time because as we've come through summer solstice, she's a representation of the alignment with the life force, because the serpent also represents that as well. In her aspect of a lioness, she represents purification like Sekhmet does. But you see, Wadjet, the root is Waj, which is green, which means your health, your wealth, your well-being. The idea that your health is your wealth started back in Kemet. So uh, she's also associated with Wajur, which is the great green water, but also another guardian. So who you would think of him as the equivalent of Agwe, right? But back to Wadjet. She is the healer. She is the origin of one of the origins of the word witch, which has been greatly misconstrued. There's an article that's floating out there still on the net that I wrote many years ago, explaining the ancient origins of the word witch and how it really was talking about the healing woman, the person in your community or in the ancient communities who had knowledge of herbs. If you were to think of maybe a curandera in Puerto Rico, same thing. Okay. But this was also just folk medicine and folk mysticism to live in harmony with the earth, as we talked about last time, as we're all actually always talking about, but especially understanding the herbology and what plants have to offer. We talked last time about finding naturally occurring plants in our neighborhoods to address whatever ails us. I mean, just is the beauty of being in harmony with nature and nature working with you. So, there's a science to it, and it should be deeply respected. We shared remedies the other night. People had different remedies for clearing out parasites and just overall purification. And, this all comes under the jurisdiction of Wadjet. So her colors, they're green, Waj, um, and also gold. And uh, so she likes jewelry. She likes, um, yes, green things, plants, flowers. Okay, those are some of the easiest things that you can offer. Fresh water, always, always, always. And in a beautiful goblet. Hopefully, you find a green goblet or a bottle. And I'm going to share an invocation that was found many years ago. That's considered part of our ancient scripture. Invocation to Wadjet. How's everybody's day today? I hope you had a really wonderful day. Let's see. And this is actually, let's see, this is the, see, actually, because I had it marked in my book. Don't have the book right now. Prayer, invocation. You will find in the Peret Imakhu and Ger, the book of coming forth by day from night. Okay. She's also known as Neseret and Wadjet Hekau, the great of magic. And let's see. Invocation. I really thought this was going to be a whole lot easier. I pulled up a page that has all these different writings to Wadjet. Let me put in Book of Coming Forth by Day. I hope everybody has been doing okay or has been managing in this heat wave that we have. That's another issue because a lot of people have lost power because of all the air conditioning that's been run. And indeed, it's important to drink a lot of water and not overdo. Wow, okay. This is taking me a little longer than I had expected. Like I said, please forgive me. It's been a long, long day. And the funny thing is, yesterday I had everything all set up, and then all these emergencies sprung out of nowhere. We have oh, this is what happens when you're tired. It's the invocation. I'm looking to see if I have my books around. No. It's the invocation that talks about how Wadjet rises on your brow and sits on the crown of the king. I can't find it right now. You know, I told myself that I'm going to be given over to as much joy as I possibly can experience, and try to take it a little easier on myself. And I have to say, right now, it's okay that I can't find it. I had a great day, and so far the plant-based keto is going well. I'm mixing it up right now. So, uh, but I have to tell you that already I'm feeling a lift in my energy. I'm feeling more aware, and I'm feeling happier. I'm feeling a lot happier. So I was telling you about Juan Gabriel last time that I was on. And so in one of the interviews, he talked about how he had this really extensive and interesting life, but he could not say that he really lived. Now, that is pointing to being able to achieve so much success, but then not being able to really enjoy it, you know? So, enjoying your life, loving yourself, and finding those moments to enjoy working hard, but then reaping your reward, and being able to enjoy the company of other people, and also inspiration. I asked last time if you had um, people who inspired you, situations that inspired you, and so please just give it some thought. And then when you have a chance to just share with me, okay? Because being inspired is what keeps you going. Sometimes you feel as though you can't go any further, but then you see somebody else and what they've been through, and it encourages you to move forward. So during this period, let us think on a conscientious level of exactly what we want to bring to the world, and how and who is going to help us to do that. In this practice, it is a mindfulness practice. And typically, every day we have a principle that we focus on because of the 42 principles that we do our best to live by. But this summer, I just want to kind of change things up a bit so that we don't have, so it's not so heavy. Okay. And where we're still able to hold ourselves accountable to me, but to also have that mercy on ourselves, So, okay. All right. So I'm going to let you go, and pray that you have a really peaceful night. And I can't wait to just get some rest. So thank you for your time. It's been good to be here with you. And so we say Meri, which means much love. Heri, which means to be at peace. Jebewi, which means to be merciful. Remember to first apply mercy to yourself in the appropriate way. And Teni, please be accountable. And of course, Meria is much love.